Next question is about pneumonia and hemoptysis. Hemorrhagic is no longer a non-essential modifier, speaking of double negatives that we're talking about, for pneumonia in the ICD-10 CM index to diseases. If it's no longer a non-essential modifier, that means that hemoptysis would be an essential modifier, which means that if you're going to code it, you need to use an additional code. Hence the question, is a code reported for hemoptysis when it occurs with pneumonia in ICD-10? You would expect a yes or no answer. Is this code required? And in fact, in coding clinic, there is no yes or no answer. However, as you work your way through it, you realize that in fact the answer is yes. An additional code is required for the coding of hemoptysis. Specifically, we're told to sequence the code for pneumonia first and then assign R04.2 hemoptysis as an additional code when this condition is documented as occurring with pneumonia. Following the rules for code chapter 18, signs and symptoms, the code for the symptom may be reported when it is not routinely associated with a diagnosis. Hemoptysis is not routinely associated. Therefore, it is okay and appropriate to assign that additional diagnosis code. And this is basically being brought up because this is in contradiction to an old ICD-9 coding clinic. So coding clinic wants to be sure that we see the difference and the departure from practice in 9 to the new practice in ICD-10. And that was third quarter coding clinic 2011, which told us that hemoptysis as a non-essential modifier indicates any bleeding should not be coded separately. But as we said, now that hemoptysis is not a non-essential modifier, as stated in the question, meaning it is an essential modifier, you are allowed and in fact required to use an additional code for hemoptysis. Why is this significant? I don't have a written example for you, but hemoptysis is in fact a comorbid condition when assigned in conjunction with pneumonia. Fact of the matter is, it's likely to be rarely only the only comorbid condition in conjunction, but we did want to at least make that distinction and bring that to your attention because that's the sort of thing, the sort of test that you would apply when you go back to your office or your desk to test out some of these coding clinics.